Start with my story. I was in my room and I was scrolling through Facebook, and there was a post that I saw, and it was a post for prayers for a boy. He attempted to take his life, and he would have been the third suicide in his family. And I read this post and it said, please pray for this boy. He's in the Denver hospital. He's from the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, and we'll accept your prayers. When I saw that, when I was crying and stuff, that's when I heard my whisper behind my back. So I knew he was from Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, and I had to look up Pine Ridge Indian Reservation on Facebook and see what it was about. And I messaged the people on that page and I asked them, hey, is there anything I can do for Pine Ridge Indian Reservation? Because I had to do something. I knew I had to do something. And they said, yeah, you can send us a care package. I went to the dollar store and I got some shampoo and conditioner and bar soap and razors and socks and everything you can get to fill a box. And when I was filling that box, I heard that voice again, and it said, you're not mailing that box, you're taking a U-Haul. And I kind of jumped back, said, I can't do that. And so I heard, okay, then you're taking two. I saw these visions, like a calendar with October 20th circled. I posted it on Facebook that I have a calling from God, and he said, go tell this boy I love him. We met these guys at a Walmart in Rapid City, which is 120 miles away from the reservation. We followed them in, and I got to meet this boy. His name is Skylar. I got to walk up to him and say, I don't know you and you don't know me, but God sent me here to tell you that he loves you. And Skylar's like, all right. And he kind of gave me a nod, and we started unloading the trucks. They fed us, and then we left and came back home. And on the way home, I was thanking God for everything, and I loved doing that, and it felt so good. If you want me to do it again, let me know. 2016, I was going to Standing Rock, and this was like probably 8 months after I did my first trip to Pine Ridge, and I wanted to go back to Pine Ridge, and I prayed, and God, if this is gonna happen, let it happen. So we ended up going to Pine Ridge, actually. From Pine Ridge, we went to Standing Rock and brought supplies over there. I didn't have a name for what I do. I didn't have a name for it. It was just called like Pine Ridge Drive. It was just to have a quick name, to put it out there on Facebook to let people know what I'm doing. As we were coming home from Standing Rock, we were going on I-90 and we entered Crow Reservation. And when we entered Crow Reservation, it was really dark out and it was really cloudy, but as we entered it, the clouds like all disappeared. I looked up and I was like, oh my gosh, what beautiful skies. And I heard God say, that's the name. And I was like, what are you talking about? That's the name of your page. I want it to be called Beautiful Skies. And I want you to spell skies, S-K-Y-S, because I want it to be named after Skylar. Because all my children are like Skylar, and all my children are beautiful skies. I talked to my boss at McDonald's, and he said, Gail, you have restored my faith in Jesus. I can't believe you just did what you did, and in 6 weeks. He said, if you want to take some time off of work, you could take off as much time as you want, and if you ever want to come back, you're welcome to come back. And so I haven't been back, and that was in 2015. What I do now is I take U-Haul trucks full of supplies twice a year, 1,000 miles east to the South Dakota-Nebraska border, and we just take U-Hauls full of supplies for them and bring it to them and come home and do it again. I Googled Pine Ridge Indian Reservation and I found out it was like the poorest place in the United States. It's horrible conditions. It's third world living over there. Yes, there's some people with electricity, there's some people with cars, there's some people with jobs, but it's only like 10% of the people, 25% of the people have jobs, and that's it. Everybody else is unemployed. There's nothing there. There's no natural resources for them to try and do things. The ground is like clay. There's pokey bushes. The whole place is pokey bushes. Yeah, so a lot of those people turn to alcohol and drugs. I just knew in my heart that it was God. I met God like 10 years ago, or 12 years ago. I never knew him before I was 42. I had a different lifestyle. I have a lot of healing to do in that area, but my past was like pretty rough. I met Jesus in 2010, and I've wanted to just give him my whole life ever since. I got out of a faith-based program in 2010, and that's when I started seeking God. I didn't get my calling until 2015, and then when I got my calling, my relationship with Jesus just grew even more.
Why do you keep going back?
Because I feel good when I help those people. They don't have resources. They don't have food banks. They don't have clothing banks. And I believe here in Spokane, we have many, many, many resources, and we can share. The calling that I got to go to Schuyler, I didn't know I was going to Pine Ridge. I never knew about Pine Ridge. I would like to go other places, but until God tells me that I'm going somewhere else, I'm just going to continue to keep doing what I'm doing. I haven't heard him for a long time, God, but I do pray and I do ask him, if you're not going to talk to me, show me. So he's showing me what he wants me to do. Right now I have 3 storage units. I just completed my 12th trip over to Pine Ridge since 2015. I try to take 2 trips a year. I would love to take more trips. It's just something that's completely in my heart and what I want to do. I just want to help people as much as I can and just keep helping people. My best experience? Probably just going on my first trip and just meeting Schuyler and walking up to him and sharing about God. There's so many experiences, My best friend passed away and she used to go on trips with me. So those are my favorite. When we as a crew travel there, it's pretty, I don't know what you'd call it. It's not stressful, it's kind of just a new experience. And so we're all kind of trying to learn how to just meet each other, know each other, find out about each other. Because I get my crew off of Facebook, is where I'm learning. All these people are telling me, I can drive. And that's when we meet each other on the way there and being there and on the way back. So I've learned a lot of things about myself and other people. I met a lady on Facebook that is opening a new area in Nebraska. And so we went over there and they didn't have water in the building. And we had a half a load left in our U-Haul. And so we were gonna just drop it off there. That was a plan. It was like a lot of food stuff. And in the end of the U-Haul, there were 2 pallets of water. And there was, I don't even know how many gallons that equaled to, like probably 150, 160 gallons of water. But we didn't know it was back there.
Isn't there a story like of boxes just kept on reappearing?
Oh, me and my sister Leah, my little sister Leah. I love it, love it, love it when God gives us miracles and there's witnesses around. It was my very first trip, and my little sister Leah and Richard, they came from out of town to help us pack the U-Haul trucks. We packed all day. We were leaving in the morning, but there was still stuff to pack. It was 10 o'clock at night, and we were in my neighbor's garage, and we were out of boxes. So my neighbor, she's like, well, I'm gonna go to bed because there's nothing else we could do. We just, close the trucks up. So me and my little sister, we went out of her garage door and into my garage door and went in there to clean up. And I said, oh, I forgot to close the U-Haul truck. I forgot to close the back. So we went back over there, and as we were going through my garage, there was 8 boxes there. And I was like, oh my gosh, look, there's boxes. And so we picked up the boxes and we went into the other garage and we started packing, and we were packing these 8 boxes, and boxes kept reappearing. It was 2 hours after, it was midnight, and then 1 o'clock, and it was 2 o'clock, and it was 3 o'clock. And at 5 o'clock, we were still packing, and we were trying to, wait a minute, what's going on here? Why do we still have these 8 boxes? We counted the boxes, and there was 8 boxes. So we put boxes in front of each other, and we packed in front of each other so we would see where these boxes were coming from. We were boxing them, and as I turned around, my box was full, so I folded it up, and I turned around and went put it into the U-Haul, the back of the truck. When I turned around, I had an empty box in my hands, and my sister's like, "Where did you get that?" And I don't know where I got it, and that's what I said. So we kept packing. Finally, around 6 o'clock, she said, "You need to get at least some sleep. You need to get some sleep." Okay, well, let's just quit here. And how many boxes do we have left? And we counted them, and we had 8 boxes. My sister said, "You need to write this down. You need to tell this story." The next morning, when Desiree and Antonio came over, just to say goodbye to us because we were leaving, I asked Antonio to jump up and in the truck and I asked him how many boxes were up there just thrown around. And he said there was 32 of them. So out of 8 boxes, we boxed 32 of them, and we still had 8 boxes left.
Do you plan on going bigger?
I would love to. If God wants me to go bigger, which I'm pretty sure he does, he wants me to ask him. He says, just ask. Just ask me anything. And I kind of asked a couple days ago for, I'd like to go each season. I would like to go 4 times a year. I don't know how that would work with the funding, because we fund the trucks. We do fundraisers to get this stuff. People hear the story and they want to help. And that's how this has been going since 2015. The end.